Random Stories with MMA Fighters Part 2. So this killer right behind me is UFC light heavyweight champion Chuck Liddell. So one day I'm meeting Boss at the Beverly Hills Jiu-Jitsu Club. That's Boss Rutan, former UFC heavyweight champion. And when I walk in, it's him and a group of fighters talking to Chuck, and they're talking really seriously as Chuck had just came back from fighting in Japan, and he had lost that fight, and it was the first time he had ever lost 2 fights back to back. So I walk in and I'm totally starstruck. I'm like, holy shit, it's Chuck Liddell. And they all started laughing. And Boss introduces me, and they go back to talking real serious. And I walk up, and I'm like, you're going to be the UFC light heavyweight champ one day. And he's like, hey, thanks, man. And he goes back to that stance, like, all serious. And I'm like, no, you're going to be the UFC light heavyweight champ one day. And he's like, thanks, I like this guy, man. And then I'm like, no, really, you're going to be the UFC light heavyweight champ. And he's like, you know what? I am going to be the UFC light heavyweight champ one day. And Boss is like, you goddamn right. And everyone starts clapping, and he starts jumping around. And sure enough, he did it in his next fight.